Sean Callebs spoke with Raymond Tanter about the Korean War anniversary. He's a political scientist who formerly served on the White House National Security Council. He described the current state of relations between the two Koreas.
Things are up and down. When the dear leader needs to gain attention for himself, he lobs a missile across Japan's sea and gets the attention of Tokyo right away. And the ROK is much more willing to try to get unification in terms of families, and the DPRK uses this as a propaganda tool. And this bombastic effort on the part of DPRK is it's an iconic illustration of the insecurity of the regime.
What is it going to take for a thaw in relations? Do you see anything on the horizon that could lead to warmer relations, especially between the families, who dearly want to be reunited and have so much at stake?
I think a major crisis involving an ICBM flying toward flying from the north to the west coast of the United States is an unacceptable event. And no matter whether President Obama has the will, he will have to find a way to react to this, because an ICBM could ruin your whole night. The allies from the United Nations got together and lit incense in terms of dedication to the families. And while at the same time, DPRK had people marching in a very bombastic way. That shows you the contrast between the two.
And also if you can contrast the prosperity of the two nations, and I've seen the satellite pictures from space at night that shows South Korea completely lighted, and then North Korea almost dark.
Yeah, I've flown over this area, and it is true, it's dark and light. And that is a symbol of the prosperity of the Republic of Korea as opposed to the Democratic Republic of Korea. The DPRK is hurting. There are more internet sites around DuPont Circle in Washington, D.C. Than there are in the whole of the DPRK.
Put it in perspective for us, just a bit more about what's at stake and the amount of suffering that is going on.
Well, the suffering in the north is legion, and the people who get the food aid that the Clinton administration provided in exchange for slowdown of the nuclear progress in the north, and that was promptly violated. The elite gets the food aid, and the military gets the food aid. The people who were marching around in circles screaming bombastic cheers yesterday, they get the food. But the people who are eating bark and trying to make soup out of the bark, they don't know any better. They think this is the way it should be. But increasingly, I suspect, with the internet being what it is, and with South Koreans coming across the border sometimes and people from the north who live in the south getting back in, pretty dangerous way to do it. I think the word is getting out that the DPRK is not heaven on earth.